Hey guys, it's IlonkaSims here, and I am back with another speed build. So in this one, as you can see in the title, we are building a bohemian style cottage for a small family. So there's basically a master bedroom and two bedrooms for kids, I think. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, it's a small family cottage. It's not very big, but it's very much filled up. Because that's the best way I could think of doing a pop-up bohemian style cottage. I was tempted to wait with this until the new pack came out because I've seen some of the new stuff in the pack and it looks really good for kind of a bohemian style, and especially the kitchen just looks great for it. But I had to build this for someone else and I told them I'd build it a while ago, but I didn't see their message, so I didn't want to make them wait, and I figured we can do it with some different kitchen cupboards as well, and it should be fine. But yes, as I said, this is kind of a cottage style. I think more of an English cottage style with all the stone instead of what you would generally see either in like Scandinavian countries or like mid Europe, like Germany, Austria, that kind of places. The kind of style that you see a lot in Windenburg. But I figured this would be a nice change from what it usually looks like. So you can see me messing around a bit with the layout. My least favorite thing in this game. But yes, I think I managed to make it work, sort of. It wasn't easy, but I was looking at this, for example, I was like, there's a lot of windows, so I think I end up changing that a little bit. I couldn't quite get the same amount of windows downstairs, and I figured maybe not all the windows should have the red shutters on them, even though they look really cool. Um, so yeah, just messing around with things, putting some ivy on the walls because I think it's pretty cute. Um, just a thing I like, and I don't know. It's an interesting build. I ended up adding some different green in there as well, just to break it up a bit more. And it looks really nice, I think. I like it at least. Putting in some more because why not, really? Um, so yeah, we'll start soon on the inside, like properly furnishing and stuff. As I said, just layout is not my favorite thing to do, but I managed to make it work. And here I had this idea that I have all these wall murals that I had a sim paint at some point because I used it for I think it was an apartment build, and I thought maybe some of these are really cute for like a bohemian style build, and I looked at it and I thought about it and I ended up not going with it. So I maybe should have got this out, but at the same time I think it's good to show people my thought processes and just saying, I wanted to use this, but it didn't work. I didn't feel like it fit the build as I wanted it to be. So I didn't go with that, and yeah, just putting in some simple terrain paint. I looked at some pictures online because I'm not an expert on bohemian style furnishing. And I figured, you know what, let's keep the walls fairly simple. So you have these white walls with a wooden and stone trim, as well as some of the stone that we have on the outside because I think it's a nice detail for the wall. And I'll put in lots and lots of color with carpets and such. So you'll see me messing around with some different ideas for carpets. It won't stay as it is. I wanted to put a big mirror above the fireplace like I usually do, but I figured, nope, it should be something more interesting. Something like lots of small colorful things, basically. So I end up doing that, and you'll see it in a little bit. I just started with this tiny mirror because I was looking at mirrors, but you'll see that I'll end up adding a few more things. And this is the carpet I end up sticking with. I add some other carpets in there to make it look a bit more substantial and looks really nice, I think. Messing around with some different items, I basically put on some filters and looked at what there was that I thought would fit a bohemian style build, and I think this ends up working pretty well. And I really like what I did with all the carpets there. It looks very very comfortable and just very homey in a way. So I end up adding curtains around most of these archways in the house. I don't like having proper doors in like the main living areas, if that makes sense, like living, dining, that kind of stuff. So I use archways most of the time, and I felt like having curtains around them would be a fairly kind of bohemian style thing to do. And other than that, I was just trying to figure out what to put around here. There's no TV in this place. If you want your Sims to have a TV, you might want to add one, but I don't have my Sims watch TV all that often when I play. But then again, I don't play with Sims all that often, so I don't know. It's up to you, but you can quite easily put one, say, above the fireplace instead of having little knickknacks on there. Changing the bookshelf that I had to something like this, which I thought was pretty cute. And we have a jukebox because I thought music would be good, at least, and a jukebox was the best idea I had in terms of what could fit with like the rest of the house. I don't know. It was my best idea. And then we have the kitchen here, which I ended up using these vampire stuff pack. I think they come from these cabinets. And they're really cute. I've not used them that much so far, but I do really like this color, and I think it works really well again for this kind of bohemian style build that we've got going on. And I wanted the dining area to be in this room as well, and I realized it's kind of cramped, like kind of really cramped, but it's just what it is. There's a toddler chair in there because there was supposed to be a toddler in this house as well, so a toddler chair seemed kind of necessary. It's a bit of a weird table layout, but then again, that also kind of just worked for me and what I like for this kind of build. I'm messing around with lots of different candles because again, that's just kind of what I think fits. Putting in some more lights, and finishing off the kitchen as we go. Bit different in terms of that. Usually I start off with the kitchen and don't finish it and then go back to it later. This time I didn't, which is kind of nice. Kind of refreshing. It must have been because it's such a different style from what I would usually do, but it was so much fun. Putting in some rainbow hearts because I don't know why, I just felt that would fit as well. And a little bit of a painting or something on the wall over there. I think I wasn't quite sure what to use in terms of lights, and all of it just doesn't give off quite enough light for what I would want that to be. And then over here we have a bit of a sunroom. It's on the outside, it's a bit different from the rest of the house as well, in that it is a bit of like wooden cladding instead of stone, so I figured this is sort of like an extension. And in this particular case, I guess it's sort of like a sunroom, so I wanted to put in lots of flowers. And then I realized, we don't have a PC, we don't have a TV. Let's at least put in a PC because that might come in handy. I do actually have my Sims use the PC. And other than that, I end up just making this kind of a, I don't know what to call it, just a really messy room with lots of plants and also just lots of toys for the kids. Lots of just random carpets over there because, again, random carpets seem to fit for what I was thinking. But yeah, lots of plants, lots of toys for the kids, or at least lots of toys. I end up adding, like, there's a toy box and a unicorn, so I guess that's toys for the kids. It's not quite a lot of toys, but maybe the toy box has a lot of toys, who knows. Changing some of the lights over here. Again, I didn't like the chandelier that I had initially, so I ended up changing that. Using this light from the movie Hangout soft pack, kind of putting it against the wall so you won't hit your head on it because they are really low hanging. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do, probably hanging those next to the wall. And then just putting in the bathroom downstairs. And then I think I do some landscaping. I think I do most of the outside area. And I had this particular idea where I wanted to use this one specific ground mural painting thing. I put it in a fountain, but that doesn't actually work. It doesn't show up, so I went, oh, well, that's kind of disappointing. So we just have this normal fountain instead, because I like fountains and they just help landscaping a lot. Making it look like a very natural fountain, because, like, kind of like a pond, I suppose. It's not a fountain in that case, is it? Yeah, just a bit of a pond over here, because I thought it would be cute. And then just doing other landscaping. I thought that having it almost overgrown would be kind of the way to do it. I didn't end up adding as much as I thought I would have initially, but I think the way I did it is probably right. You don't want to overdo it too much, I suppose. And just putting in a mailbox and a bin, outside bin, and my voice is dying. That's just great. It happens a lot, it's fine. And here I had this idea where I was thinking maybe we should have this kind of outside greenhouse almost. And then I figured that maybe that would be weird because we already have the sunroom. But I wasn't too sure what to do with it, and I was just messing around with some ideas, and I figured at some point, you know what, no, it's too big. We don't have all that much space left in the backyard, so maybe not do that and see about doing something else. But first I figured I would do this little entrance room for some reason. Sometimes I'm all over the place with my builds, but I do quite like it, so putting in some of these flower lights because I think they're really cute. And that's all I did for this little front room. And then I went back to landscaping, I guess. I'd almost say that like the video is in the wrong order, but it's just one bit of video, so that's definitely not the case. I'm a mess sometimes when it comes to building. But yeah, as I said, just doing some stuff here on the outside. I figured that since they have a toddler as well as a kid, they should have some monkey bars over here. You have a bit of a comfortable sitting area over there and a fire pit as well. And I thought, if these are people that like the bohemian style and all that, chances are they would be the kind of people that also grow their own, like, vegetables or something. So we have some planters over there as well. Just finishing things off with some tomato paint. Yeah, making it look finished, basically. And I think I initially wanted to start with the toddler's room, but I wasn't feeling it. You can see me just... So I ended up starting with the master bedroom instead, which is probably a good thing. So it's, again, just a pretty bohemian style kind of room, and very colorful, but I tried to stick with warmer colors because it's a bedroom and I figured that would work well. But because the bed was in this, let's say, slightly weird place because it's not quite on the grid, I couldn't get a proper carpet under it, so we have this sort of kind of tiny carpet compared to what I would usually have, but I think that's okay. And then looking at again some specific stuff packs that I knew would have the right kind of decorations. I do words, guys, I promise. The right kind of decorations for the style that I was going with. At this point it's all very red and yellow, and I initially planned to stick with that, but it doesn't happen. It's okay, don't worry, it's not going to be quite this red and yellow. Putting some plants over here because I figured having random plants standing around everywhere would work very well for this build. But I end up adding in this mirror and not keeping it yellow because it was just too much yellow. I do end up changing this couch outside and putting the same one in here to I put it in yellow? I might. I'm not quite sure. But I think I make that yellow, and I end up changing the colors over there a little bit so that it's not too much one color, and just to match it a little bit with the blue in the couch as well. So a bottom, nothing too special, I think. It's a bottom, really. I always want to do something fancy, but for most builds it just doesn't work. So it's fairly simple. Putting in a butterfly painting because I can, and then the main bottom that is for not the master ensuite is basically the same style, same items and stuff. It's just a tiny bit smaller. But other than that, it's basically the same. I just end up putting some different things on the wall over there, and then I think that's basically the same. So I started off with the toddler bedroom. Now, basically I had to think for a bit about what to do and check with the person I was building this for if they needed it for like a boy or a girl or just something more gender neutral, like say they were expecting a kid. And they said just keep it gender neutral because they're expecting the third child, so that they would probably have to live with the toddler in the same room for a little bit. So I figured, okay, I can do gender neutral. I think it's not easy, but it just ends up being very colorful, and I think it works. I don't know, it's a bit weird sometimes with gender neutral things. I think in Sims, it's the same with stereotypes. It's just they help you build a lot. I think if you don't have a specific family you're building for yourself. But yeah, it's kind of an animal themed room, I think, is the best way to put it. Unfortunately, this is built before the patch that came out the other day, so like if you're watching this as it comes out, I don't have the new lights that I would have put in otherwise, but just it's a fairly simple kids room, toddlers room. Nothing too special about it, really. Messing around with some different things on the walls, and then I realized, you know what? I keep doing this every single time lately. I just put in wall decals instead of other decorations and being a little bit more creative with them. So I ended up going with some simple paintings and then putting a wall decal just there with the bed because, again, it's the animal theme that I did want to carry through. And then over here we have the kids' room, so it's the final room in this build. And it's the goal that much I knew. And I figured, you know what, I like making my kids' rooms kind of in a way so that they are kids' rooms, but could also work as teens' rooms. So I did this thing with the couch at the back, which I really liked. And then I figured, you know what, I'm sure we can make this a lot cuter than we could with this couch that I used initially. So I ended up using the same couch as we've used in the master bedroom as well as outside, and this is so cute with all the pillows and stuff over there. I ended up putting a teddy bear on there as well, which is just absolutely adorable. I really like it. If you guys don't like it, sorry. I really liked it. It just worked. And just messing around here with a desk and a little table over there. Or do I end up going with that one? I think I end up going with the bookshelf table. And I really like this wall carpet thingy over there, which I basically use for the colors. Which already more or less match the colors that we had with the bed and the couch over there. And as I said, putting in a teddy bear because I thought that was pretty cute. So we put in obviously a dresser with some pictures on there because I figured that's pretty good for a kid's room, especially a girl. I think there's a lot of girls that would have lots of pictures around their room. Not me, because I don't actually like pictures all that much, but most girls would have, I think. And I really wanted to put in a dollhouse, but they are so big. Like, even the smaller one is just so big. I don't like it. Like, I really like them, but that's so big that it's just nearly impossible to work with them. And just putting in things, and I put in too much pink. I was like, this is too much pink. You'll see in a little bit, I'll end up changing some of it, but that was just too much pink. I'm not a fan of pink myself, and I don't want to overdo the pink in a girl's bedroom just because it's a girl's bedroom, basically. Like, I'll tend to keep things slightly more girly, but all pink is not necessarily not a necessity for a girl's room. That's an annoying word to say. Oh well. Just putting some decorations and all that around the place. And I kind of wanted to stick with the bohemian theme slightly that we had in the rest of the house, even though it wouldn't necessarily make the most sense for the kids' room. They wouldn't necessarily have the same style ideas as their parents, but then again, at that age, like if you're a kid, it tends to be your parents that do a lot of furnishing for you anyways, so I figured having a slightly bohemian style in here was definitely possible. Whereas in the toddler's room, it's just not, I couldn't make it work. I wanted to, but it's just, there's not the right stuff for it, I suppose. But yeah, just keeping this fairly simple, putting in some plants and stuff. I got really annoyed by these carpets and that they kind of overlap but kind of didn't. I think I ended up just leaving them. And then just finishing off this little hallway, I guess, up here. Keeping it fairly simple. I didn't want to use the same carpet as we had downstairs, so I changed that. And we put this couch over there that just fit, that kind of framed the window perfectly somehow. Which was kind of funny to me. And then just putting in a few small decorations. There is no bookshelf or anything up here. It's just a place you could go and sit because there was space to put something there, and I didn't want to leave the room empty. I realized I still had to put a different light in the kids' room, and then putting some simple stuff in here. Nothing too special about it. It's just a little room that was there. I figured it shouldn't be empty. But here we are in the screenshots. I was really happy with how this turned out, and if you like it too, you want to use it for your Sims, you have some Sims that would like this kind of style home, there is a download link down in the description as always that will take you to the gallery. If you'd rather search for it in-game, you probably be best off searching for my account, which is IlonkaSims as it is here. But that's it, so as always, let me know what you want to see me build next, and I will talk to you next time. Bye guys!